Hey, this is David with Frog Eat Fly Software, and in this video, I'm going to show you how to use Gravity Forms to create a subscription form on your website. Now, why would you want to create a subscription form? There are a bunch of different subscription management options out there that you can use, but a lot of those, you're paying monthly, you're limited on customizations you can do. Gravity Forms is a stellar solution for creating subscription forms, and it's pretty easy to set up. You can integrate it with Stripe, which I'll show you in this tutorial, and the whole thing takes about 5 minutes. So let's go ahead and get started. What I've got here is just a staging site, a basic theme. There's nothing on it. And then if I go to the back end of the website, I've got a few different plugins added already. I've got Gravity Forms, which is how we're going to create the subscription form. And then I've got the Stripe add-on for Gravity Forms. Now, to get the Stripe add-on, you have to, I think you have to be the Pro version or the Elite version of the Gravity Forms software. I'm just going to go over there real quick so I'm telling you correctly. Wrong website, gravityforms.com. So if we take a look at pricing, I think it's the Pro license will give you the ability, yes, to do the Stripe add-on, which is right here. Now, keep in mind that if you want to use our Gravity Stripe plugin and allow your users to be able to manage their own subscriptions, then you need to go ahead and sign up for the Elite license, which is $259. The reason being is you'll want to make sure that your form has the user registration add-on all set up. So once somebody subscribes on your website, they actually get login details and it pays all in one fell swoop. If you just do this one, then users will not be able to access and edit unless you manually go through and connect those users with each entry. All right, so let's go ahead and get back to what we were doing here. Step number one in doing this is you need to create a form. So in Gravity Forms, it's really easy. We just click New Form. I'm going to call this Subscription Form. Click Create Form. And then there's really only one detail that's required for Stripe when it integrates with Stripe or talks to Stripe and processes the transaction, and that is an email address. But of course, if we just have a form with an email address and an amount of money, people probably aren't going to check out because they don't feel like it's going to be legit. So let's go ahead and ask for the basics. We'll ask for a name. We're going to ask for that email. And then we need to go ahead and make sure that we have some sort of product. So we have a product here. I'm going to put that in here. And we'll just call this my subscription. It's a single product. Now, if you only have one thing, then obviously we're not going to have the quantity option. All right. If this form is just for subscribing and you don't want to show this on here because you've got it listed elsewhere, you can also actually add this as a hidden file, or excuse me, a hidden field. You'll still be able to add the price and everything, but the user who comes and subscribes on your website will not see it. The other thing that you could do is you could do drop downs or radio buttons if you've got multiple options. So if I have, a $10 subscription option, I've got a $20 subscription option and a $30 subscription option. That's also something that you could do. So for now, I'm just going to stick with this just to make it simple. That'll be required. This will be required, and my first name and last name is going to be required as well. And then down at the very bottom, let's go ahead and just add a total. Let's save this form and refresh because we got an error here. Okay, let's try it again. Let's add the total field. There we are. And we'll just say subscription total. And what this will do is based on my selection here, it's going to populate with the total. And then the last thing that we will need, obviously, to be able to check out is some sort of checkout. Okay, so let's go ahead and save this. And now I'm going to jump over to settings. And I'm just going to go into the Stripe settings here because I'm going to show you that you actually have two options. You could do Stripe credit card fields, which is built right into your form. You can also do a Stripe payment form, which is a pop-up that shows all the payment field information in a pop-up. Both of these options are great. It really just depends on your preference. Some people like to put the fields inside the form. Some people like the pop-ups. If you're trying to integrate with our Gravity Stripe plugin, you can do either one. It doesn't matter. I'm going to go ahead for this purpose, just keep it as the credit card fields. We'll save that. Go back to our forms. And now what I want to do is go down to Stripe. So each of your forms is also going to have Stripe settings. Those Stripe settings need to be adjusted for those individual forms because you may have a form that's just for single products, single transaction products, or you may have a form that is for subscriptions and they're going to be handled differently. So it says right here we don't have any feeds configured, so let's create one. And I'm just going to call this subscriptions. My transaction type is going to be subscription. The name of that subscription, I'll just, since I've got this in here, summer camp fee, my recurring amount. Either one, I could give it the product name or the form total. Now, if I had form total and product name in here, this is obviously the field for the subscription. This is the form total. In some cases, let's say you're going to do a subscription, but then you're also going to have a one-time setup fee of $20. You're not going to want to use the form total as your subscription because what's going to happen is if the subscription is only $10 and the setup fee is $20, it's going to charge them $30 every month. All right. So make sure that you choose the one that is going to be your monthly reoccurring for each of your subscribers. And in my case, it's either one, but I'll just choose a product name. Billing cycle, I'll set to 1 month. I'm not going to have a setup fee. I'm not going to have a trial period. And then, as I said, the only required field for Stripe is email, which it's gone ahead and mapped for me. And then I've just got a test account set up right now. So let's go ahead and save those settings. And we'll jump real quick back over to settings for Gravity Forms and then just Stripe. And I'm going to show you this part right here is how you integrate with your Stripe account. So once you've added the Stripe add-on, you'll see this sort of area here. This is how the connection happens with Stripe. All right. And if I click live, you'll see it says connect with Stripe. If I click that, if you've already got your Stripe open, then what it will do is it will just link up with Stripe. You'll log in if it's not open. And once it connects up with that, you'll see that it does something similar to this, where it just says it's connected to whatever account. All right. Once it does connect, you'll need to get the test signing secret and the live signing secret. If you need some instructions on that, just click view instructions. It'll take you right to where you need to be, as well as setting up your endpoint within Stripe. It's not, it may look technical and like you need some sort of master's or PhD to be able to do this. Just follow the instructions. You'll find it. Copy and paste. It's really easy. All right, so I'm just going to save that since I fiddled with it a little bit. And let's go back to our forms. So we've gone ahead and we set up our Stripe settings. One other thing that a lot of people don't realize, once you add the Stripe add-on, your notifications option, you actually get a few more added. So I'm obviously going to create a notification, and we're going to call this one payment successful. So I'm not going to do it once the form is submitted. Instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to say once the payment is completed. Okay. So that way I know that the transaction actually took place. That's when they will get this email going out to them. Sometimes it won't send. I've had it before where the transaction doesn't actually go through. Everything looks like it did. And then they get an email that says, great, we're so happy to have you on board. And then they're not actually being charged, and you don't know any better either. So we're going to send that to the email field. My from name can be whoever or whatever business. So we'll just call subscription company. I'll set this to my admin email for now, but you can do any email address. Thanks for signing up. And then you can add your text. Now, this little icon right here is great because I can go hi, select first name. Thanks so much for joining our subscription. I think you'll really like it. Best, David. There we go. And then you can also enable conditional logic if you need conditional logic for some reason. All right. And actually, I'll show you why you might want to do conditional logic. You remember in this particular demonstration, there were 3 drop-down options. So let's say I want to send a different email depending on the membership that they signed up for. I could actually say product name is whatever choice they selected. So my content up here might say something like, thanks so much for joining our gold subscription, blah, 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 blah. Then I'm going to create another notification feed for the second choice, which might be the platinum subscription, and I can change it. So when somebody goes and signs up for a different plan, they can get a very customized email that is directly relevant to that particular plan. All right, so let's update this. And let's go ahead and add this into a page. So I've got a sample page right here. I don't even know what this looks like. I'm just going to click edit page. Now, personally, I use Beaver Builder for all of my websites. That's just my preference for WordPress. It's very easy to use, and it's just allows you to edit things and create websites very quickly. The page builder is great, and then there's some other tools that I always add to that. Additionally, there are some other things that I'll include in the description at the bottom of this video. So if you want to learn more about those, just go ahead to the bottom, click the links. Those will be affiliate links, but check those out. Go and see if those are right for you. It's a lot easier than using WordPress's default builder. But what I'm going to do now is I need to go ahead and update this page. And let's go back to the back end again. Here we are. So we have our forms, and you can embed, now take this particular form and add it into your page. Okay. If we want to look at this, we could preview it. This is what it looks like. So if I fill this out, and if you remember, we did the field options, which look like this. Okay. If you do the pop-up option, you won't see this. What will happen is when somebody clicks the button, it will pop up with a payment module over top of your page where people can enter the information directly into Stripe instead of through your website and being sent to Stripe. So anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it was helpful. Setting up a subscription form with Gravity Forms on WordPress is extremely easy, as you saw. If I missed anything or you have any questions at all, you can comment below. You can also go over to support@frogeatfly.com. Shoot us an email there. I'd be happy to help any way I can. Take care.